Reec.
Yeah. Who you with?
Who you with?
Hey, we back at it, baby. You know what it is, the Reec Show live from Media Campus West. We're going to jump right into it today. You see, I got double the trouble, double the fun with me on the right. And today, these guys are changing the landscape of mental health and mental wellness, and they're doing some amazing things in therapy. They putting the cool in therapy, and you can't do it without them. We got Terell, we got Tewann, we got the Teppers in the building. What's up, fellas?
Appreciate it. What's up, Reec? What's going on, brother?
When I first met you, I thought y'all was a singing group, and then I was like, oh, they do therapy? That's crazy. And it was just good to see that, sometimes you get a stigmatism about therapy. We start thinking about it's a sit down, lay down on the couch, and it's a stuffy situation, and we may not want to do it, but you don't have people that are kind of understanding of the culture, and at the same time, they can connect with the people, and I think that's what we need.
Definitely. I think it's important, man, to be relatable. That's one of the things that I try to focus on, because if you feel like you can't relate to a person, it's hard to open up to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want people to look at therapy as anything more than a conversation with a person that might be a little bit more well-versed on some of the things that we might have not been exposed to in our community.
Yeah.
I think that the people that are in our community who think of therapy as something that's on a pedestal that can't
be reached.
Can't be reached.
Right.
I think they just haven't been exposed to the right therapist.
You just hit it on the head there where you say we've been through some things that can be relatable to the people that we want to speak to and the people that need it. Because I don't think that a 65-year-old Indian woman is going to be able to relate to myself or my journey the way you guys. And I know you guys have made a transition yourselves from a high-level athlete into this space. And I know it's thousands and thousands of athletes that have the pivot. It's a whole podcast called The Pivot, right? And they're talking about people that were high-level athletes or collegiate athletes, and now they have to do something else. And that mind frame sometimes needs a tweak when that happens.
That's crazy that you say that, because I work with a lot of high-level athletes, and a lot of times the higher the level is, the better the athletic potential is. So you've been vetted to be good at the athletic part.
Right.
What separates a person is the mental part. What separates one NBA player from being Michael Jordan and another NBA player from not really achieving is the mindset part. So we work on the mindset part, and one of the things that they suggest is a 3 to 5% increase in the way you mentally function.
Yeah.
It will demonstrate itself on the court, on the field, or whatever sport you play.
Right. That makes plenty of sense. Let's kind of go back a little bit, because we want to talk about the history. So you guys growing up, obviously you look the same, you know what I mean? And that could bring upon some challenges within itself sometimes. It's just like trying to gain an identity, but also trying to be comfortable within your own skin as well. So you guys coming up, what was that like, being double trouble?
I tell everybody, man, it's got its ups and downs, but I would say that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the benefits.
Let's do it.
Benefits, I got a built-in best friend.
There you go. Hold on, let me hit that, Bill. That sounds like a T-shirt.
Yeah, for real. Built-in best friend. I don't have to impress. I don't have to try to fit in.
Right.
I don't have to overextend myself or bend over backwards to try to be anybody's, buddy. You feel me? Like I had that from day one.
Yeah.
I think the drawbacks are at certain times, like you said, it's hard to distinguish yourself as an individual when people look at you as an entity.
Gotcha.
Like I literally would show up to a place, dap everybody up. What's up? What's going on? They'd be like, "What's up, bro? Where's your brother?" Damn, I've been here for 5 seconds.
Over across the street.
Right. I gotta know where he at. Right. So I don't know all the time. So sometimes it's like I'm not good enough if it's not us. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little bit of a challenge at times, but I've learned to embrace it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's what's up.
Same here.
Go ahead, man.
Same here. I got the same experience. I've been celebrated the twin thing just because we're more visible.
Yeah.
I feel like if you see twins, you're not going to forget them. You might not have positive feelings about them, but you say, damn, I say some
That's
twins
only
today.
if y'all took somebody's girlfriend or something. That has nothing to do with the character of the people.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get people to see. Yeah, it's not.
Right.
It's definitely not intentional. But no, I think the twin thing, man, you know, I've had certain situations where people say, damn, I ain't never seen twins that still hang out together as grown men.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, who else can I trust more than him? You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a tough spot or a bind or, you know, I don't know exactly what's going to play out, but I need somebody to have my back.
Yes.
I don't have to wonder. I don't got to, you know.
You ain't got to go far.
Yeah, I don't got to go far. You know what I'm saying? I know who my emergency contact is.
Exactly. Everybody needs one of those. Exactly. I get that same thing because obviously me and Pops is close. We're close, and we do a lot of stuff together, being my manager and being out there and just doing business together. I might show up to a place, and they go, oh, Reece, what's up? Where's Pops? And I'm not sure if he gets the same situation, but that may be the same thing. Sure. But I get what you're saying.
Definitely. And it's one of them things, man, for me personally, it makes me feel like we can relate on a certain level because the people who are closest to you in your inner circle and how you treat them is how you probably going to treat me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you can't get along with your family members.
How can I get along with somebody on the outside?
Exactly.
That makes plenty of sense. Let's fast forward a little bit. You guys get into sports and you playing at a high level. What was that like, being able to play at college, high level, and just doing it?
Man, it was. I think my college 4 years of college sports was probably my most fun I ever had in life. I guess if I was to put a little bit of a regret on it, it would be, you know, black college football is getting a lot of attention now.
Yeah.
So when I went through school, it was just kind of like, get your degree, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that they don't use you up,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And forget your education.
Right.
So my main goal was to make sure that the football team and that aspect of my life was adequate enough to get my education.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And get my degree while I was there, not just play football and then leave. So.
Right.
Yeah, my football experience really set me up for life, I think. Just because we had so much to juggle. Like, literally was on academic scholarship.
Yeah.
Partial academic, partial football. So at the end of the day, like, the academics had to get done or I was on my way home. Smoking. So
got you.
That was one of those things that kind of taught me how to prioritize, number one, and taught me how to identify with the anxiety of playing sports and having other things to juggle outside of the sport.
You can have that performance anxiety because I definitely felt it as well, being a college basketball player. And then I did the journey thing. So I wasn't at one spot for 4 years. Okay, I was at this spot, then this spot, then this spot, and then this spot. Luckily got my degree. And it was always trying to make sure that I was bringing the best thing to the table. And I know that it could be the same thing as you progress. And you guys went to school together?
Yeah, we did.
Playing together.
Definitely. And it's funny you said that because doing what we do now, I'm aware of the difference between a productive thought process for an athlete and a productive thought process for a functioning member of society.
Now, what is that? Tell me the difference.
So what I have learned is that, you know, that by any means necessary, I'm my own worst critic. If I'm not working hard today, then somebody else is outworking me.
That's the mindset of an athlete.
That's the mindset.
A lot of athletes get caught up in that.
That's what we are preached and kind of like almost brainwashed to think like as an athlete.
Right.
But if you keep that mentality and you take it into most other areas of life, it's hard to achieve balance. It's hard to achieve that I'm relaxed.
Right.
I don't feel anxiety.
You can't really enjoy a success or a win that way as well. Because you're like, all right, that was cool. On to the next thing, and I got to keep pushing. I can't really stay in the moment at all.
Exactly. It's just like, you know, Michael Jordan. If he had 40 points, but they lost and he had 3 turnovers.
He's only thinking about the 3 turnovers.
He's thinking about them 3 turnovers.
Right.
But if you take that same mentality to life and you know, paid all your bills, you know, did everything you were supposed to do, but 2 or 3 things fell through the cracks. And then you ruminate over those things.
Yes.
That's what's called anxiety. That's what continues to perpetuate, and now you are suffering from generalized anxiety because life is going to continue to happen. Right. So, you know, you can't have the same mentality. You got to kind of have one mentality for this and then have an ability to compartmentalize and switch over to one that's more conducive for adult everyday life.
Right.
Yeah, so,
and I've heard that word a lot in everyday society, especially on social media. Anxiety. We got a lot of people suffering from that. And the way you just put it, it actually made it to where it's digestible. Yeah. And that's why it's so important that you guys are like spreading your word, but still being connected to the culture. We see the Prada shirts, we see the Alexander McQueen, I see the Louis V glasses on the table, you know what I mean?
I believe in manifestation. These is Louis V millionaires.
There you go.
Here. So eventually I can wear these with a little bit more pride. Right now I'm manifesting.
Right now we 100,000aires. It's getting there.
Exactly. Baby steps.
There we go. All right, so you go from, you elevate from being an athlete into going into mental health therapy. Mm-hmm. What was that moment where you said, this is what I want to do, this is the thing that we should be doing?
That's funny you asked that. I tell people all the time, I feel like mental health I didn't really choose mental health. It kind of just chose me.
Okay.
Just because I always wanted to do something that I didn't have to come too far outside of myself to do. Mm-hmm. Something I felt like my life experiences made me an expert at, as opposed to me making myself an expert, forcing myself into this lane, and then forcing this information onto people. So I feel like just the things that both of us, I can speak for both of us. The things that we've been through to this point kind of set us up to be a voice for people who've been through those similar things.
I feel like everybody, your friend groups or the team probably came to y'all for their troubles, advice, and you was always be able to give them some kind of balance.
Definitely. And it's funny that you said that, man, because I tell people, I feel like I've been getting trained for my job since I was 7.
Talk to me about that.
Actually 6. Let me go back one more year. So my mom passed when I was 6. Went to live with my grandma. My grandma was a beauty shop owner, and I don't know if you know a lot about the beauty shop.
You go hear a lot
culture.
of issues and problems and situations.
It seemed like people come there to vent first, and I might as well get my hair done.
Right. Oh, by the way, I need to get this good ponytail.
Right. Let me go on and get them finger waves. That was back in the day.
There you
finger waves. But so I would see people come in and talk to my grandmama about all kinds of stuff, and I thought it was kind of like exclusive to that setting, right? This beauty shop setting, you know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable. I feel like I can be myself. You know, these people is in here literally. You can't even imagine how some of them women come into the beauty shop. It's a vulnerable place. Yeah, like they be literally like bald head and everything.
Right. So you saying that physically and mentally raw and ready to unmask and ready to be worked on. Right.
Yeah. So I saw it there, and then I started seeing people coming to the house to see my grandmother. Okay. And then it started being like my friends would come over. I'm thinking they coming to hoop or coming to see me. Right. They walk straight past my room like, bro, I got a lot on my mind. Where's your grandmama? So I kind of saw. My grandma was never trained, you know, to be a counselor or anything like that. Right. She was a cosmetologist.
Life trained her.
Right. And she had a demeanor that made people feel comfortable.
Beautiful thing.
And so
shout out to grandma.
Shout out to grandma, man. It was just her birthday. Grandma, I love you.
Happy birthday, grandma.
Just made 93.
93, but I get the hype bell for that too, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. But her spirit, I think it was more important than what she was saying and not saying. And some of the stuff that she told me, it just plays out of my head, and it's part of my therapy. It's literally the stuff that I tell clients. You know what I'm saying? So
it's real life applications.
Real life applications. And like he said, I think the profession kind of chooses you because initially we went to school on football. Well, actually we was on academic scholarship, but we was playing football. Football had helped us out with some books and some housing and stuff. Right. But anytime the football program is involved in your schooling, right, they kind of encourage you not to rush into choosing a major. Right. Then that's going to
They want you to focus on the sport.
Exactly.
Because the sport is keeping the coach employed.
Not your books.
Right.
So it's almost an unspoken kind of, don't get the priorities mixed up, bro. Like, you here to play for me. Right. So anyway, we get there, and we got our priorities and stuff lined up to where the academics is paying the bills for the most part, and the sports is supplemental.
Caveat, yeah.
Exactly. So we get in there, and the I lost my train of thought. Let's go past that one.
Now you were talking. You basically just correlating being a athlete and how that transitions you into your therapy and what was kind of like the escalator into your next level.
Exactly. So anyway, long story short, I thought I was going to do physical health.
Okay.
He was going to do mental health. I was going to do more like sports rehab.
Right. Kinesiology and all that stuff.
Exactly. And then my major lost its accreditation. And they said, do something similar and then you could switch over when it get accredited.
Back. Yeah.
It never did become accredited. And
luckily, because look at you now.
Exactly. And I think it's one of them things, like he said, it just kind of happened organically.
Got you.
Definitely.
Got you, man. That's a beautiful thing. And now you guys are helping high-level athletes, the everyday person, you know, the single dad that's dealing with that transition, the mom that's trying to deal with the everyday, you know, weight of life. Definitely. And all of that type of stuff. You guys have your own practice. Definitely. So if I'm somebody out there, I'm watching this right now, and I feel like I may be dealing with that word you said a little bit earlier, anxiety, or I've read about depression. That may be something I'm suffering with. What's the quickest way to get in touch with you guys? Because you look like somebody I could talk to.
Oh yeah, we on a couple of different platforms. So teppertherapy.com is our personal website.
Okay, Tepper Therapy is Tepper like pepper but with a T.
Exactly.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
That's perfect.
With a T. Teppertherapy.com. That's our personal website. We're both on therapy for black men.
Okay.
And therapy for black girls. And psychology today.
Also, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a platform that I think a lot of the younger people can identify with because it's an app on your phone.
Okay.
So you can text, you can talk, you can FaceTime. So you can look both of us up on BetterHelp.com as well.
Okay. Tell me about some of the misconceptions of therapy, some of the things you heard that you know aren't true but people kind of say.
Man, I just confronted one the other day. Okay, so one of the main things I think that's in our community is if you seek therapy, then it means you're crazy.
It don't mean you're crazy.
Or no, it don't mean you're crazy. It don't mean you're crazy. As a matter of fact, I try to tell people to look at it. It's similar to the way you look at physical health, right?
Okay.
If somebody told you I have a primary care physician, and I go to them for, periodic checkups,
right,
and I also go to the gym frequently to keep my physical health up.
Right.
You wouldn't look at them as, what's wrong with you?
You wouldn't say they're sick just because I'm going to my annual doctor's visit.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You wouldn't say they're sick. You would say that they are proactive about their physical health.
Okay.
I think that we need to transition our mindset to look at mental health that way. Don't mean you sick. It means you proactive about your mental health.
Yeah.
So, sometimes people, some of my most well-adjusted clients will speak highly about therapy and kind of brag in their social circles about what my therapist recommended.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like, most of the things in life that you encounter, there is an expert out there that knows a little bit more about it than you do.
Okay.
Now, you could take it to your homeboy.
Right.
Or you could take it to church.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea either, but you're not taking it to the expert.
Yeah.
It's almost like, if you're...
So somebody's hurt, somebody got a twisted ankle, I could ask my homeboy who may have had a twisted ankle before, he can give me something, but if I ask a doctor, he may know the newest trend in twisted ankle therapy or how to get it right.
Man, you killed that great analogy. Great analogy.
I'll take it. I appreciate it. Let me hit the hype bell for
me. I was going to say, hit that for you. You killed that because what the doctor is going to say, it's a grade 2.
There we go.
Not a grade 1. This is a high ankle sprain, not a low ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Your homie told you something that worked for him, but he had a high ankle sprain.
And your homie had 2 ankle injuries in his life.
Right.
The doctor sees this daily.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying?
So you guys see see these different things. So I may have something going on in my head. I'm looking up WebMD. I think I'm depressed, and you come back and say, no, you're not depressed. You're suffering from some long word that I don't know.
You know what's crazy? I actually had that play out in therapy one time. This guy told me that he had anger issues. So we explored and explored and explored. Found out that he only gets angry as a result of his anxiety.
So the anxiety triggered the anger.
The anxiety was the real issue.
So we needed to fix not fix, but we needed to alleviate some of these anxious situations or moments.
Exactly.
All right.
And what we did was we put together a personal self-care plan for him.
Okay.
That allowed him to monitor his anxiety and then put in place a buffer when it needed to happen and not after the fact.
Got you. I got you. I definitely understand that.
I know. I just thought of another misconception on the total opposite end of the spectrum. So now that this mental health is starting to gain some steam, I think that people are using mental health diagnosis as like a way to get out of their obligations, like a crutch or like a shield against certain things.
Right.
Like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to do this, but I got these mental health issues.
I got you. Almost like people use zodiac signs. Oh, I can't date you. You a Cancer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you don't even know me.
Exactly. So every cancer is different.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
So
right.
I would argue the total opposite. Like, it does not alleviate you from any responsibility. If anything, it gives you an extra responsibility. Like, you know that you have issues with certain things. You've been shown who can help you. Now it's up to you to put some work in and get the help.
Right.
Like, not just say, oh, I'm bipolar, you know, I switch on you.
Yeah.
I cuss you out, you know, I'm bipolar. Like, no, you need to go get you some help now that you know that. Like, my grandmama used to tell me, now you know better, now you got to do better.
There you go. That's we'll hit it one more time for grandma. Shout out to grandma. I hope you giving grandma a cut. Now I know y'all take care of grandma. So that's a great thing that you just said, because we see that now across social media. We see a lot of people saying, like you just said, oh, I'm bipolar. Now don't approach me on a Tuesday if I don't eat. You know what I mean? So now so now you're able to say, no, we pinpointed the issue.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We need to get a professional in and let's try to fix or figure out what's going on so you don't have to deal with this issue on a long-term basis. Because we see it now, social media makes people want to chase certain things. You see these couple goals and this and that.
Definitely.
So what are some of the things that social media is doing to kind of break mental health out here in society that y'all see?
Man, it's tough. The social media wave kind of put a lot of stuff in people's face, I think. And being exposed to certain things, I think is a portion of the kind of natural human psyche to almost compare your life to what you see on social media.
Right.
But what you don't realize is you're seeing a snapshot of an image that somebody wanted you to see. They not gonna take a picture of the down times.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm struggling financially. Let me take a picture of that. Or, you know what I'm saying? I got an issue, you know, in a personal relationship of mine that really feels good or feels bad right now. Let me take a picture of that. Like, they only gonna, like, capture those good moments.
Yeah.
So you really looking at those good moments sometimes in your worst moments.
Yeah, highlight reel almost. And nobody's going to post the bloopers.
Exactly.
Right. Nobody posting the bloopers.
You ain't seeing the bloopers. You just seeing the highlights. But you are comparing your bloopers to their highlights.
Yeah.
And that's a big spectrum sometimes.
I think sometimes it's irresponsible as like how people with high visibility when they don't post a real moment. Because you have so many people following you, have so many people looking like, oh, they life perfect and my life is not as good, and they start falling into those mental traps. I think.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah. That's one of the areas I really want to focus on, like the people who really do have a platform, because mental health is one of the things that I feel like people with the biggest platform deal with the most. Yeah, just because their identity is so wrapped up in the platform and so many people looking to them.
It's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure to be up on a pedestal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, too, the fact that you have the platform, it gives you a responsibility, like you said, to show some real moments. You know what I mean? To show that you, too, struggle. To show that it ain't all peaches and cream on this side. You know what I'm saying? So people not so envious of things like an illusion of something that don't even exist.
That's super real.
And those the people who are on the platform too. I think just being exposed to some people who have a big platform, their life is just different. Like the expectation, the way people interact with them. The fact that they can't tell if somebody is genuinely interested in getting to know them or they trying to use them to get to the next level all the time. Right. It kind of creates a distrust. And I feel like it's really an underserved population, especially with our community, like the entertainers, the athletes. A lot of them suffer in silence.
And I know you guys are connected with a lot of entertainers and athletes and have celebrity friends as well. We see y'all in the room in the mix, you know what I mean, on television, you know what I mean, in the background. I'm like, I know those guys. So I know you hear these conversations at a different level, like a more intimate space, and you're able to kind of give them good advice.
Definitely. And I want to start doing more of it, honestly, because I try my best to just be cool with everybody and not make them feel you know how people run up to you with their latest business ideas. And, you know, I try my best to let people relax in they relaxed times and spaces and stuff. But I think that the more we break down the stigma around mental health, the more casual conversations we can have and show support to one another in our casual conversations. And it don't have to feel like an indictment or I'm saying that you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of scared at times to say, bro, you know, if you ever need to talk to somebody, I'm a mental health therapist, because I know that the translation in certain circles is
something's wrong with
I
me.
think you crazy. Right. So, you know, you need some support and I'm here for you. Right. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, you know, this is what I do. If you was a mechanic and you see me pull up in my car
and it's squeaking,
it don't even got to be squeaking. I still want you to tell me, hey, bro, I'm a mechanic. So if you ever need something, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong now. Your car looks good. It sounds good.
Great analogy. Let me hit that one time. There we go. They're mechanics of the brain.
I'm a mechanic. I'm just a mechanic.
There we go. I love that. Somebody's out there right now. They like, okay, let me get started. You already gave them the website. You gave them the different things like that. Should they just jump on it right away? Should they just reach out right away?
Yeah, they can reach out right away. TepperTherapy.com. That's wide open.
Definitely. You can check me out on Instagram too. I don't got a lot of because my Instagram got hacked and I'm not that active.
I'm so sick of folks hacking Instagram.
It's crazy. But you can, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Terell's Therapy. Okay. And, you know, we can go from there. It's an email away, and we can get started.
Yep.
There we go.
Mine is Talk to Tep.
Okay.
Talk, the number 2, TEP.
Right. And y'all got a podcast, too, under that pseudo, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what we trying to do, the first podcast was called Rewired. And it was kind of geared towards just thinking about the mental health aspect of the everyday things that we encounter.
Give me a small example of that, like an everyday thing that happens that may trigger some mental health situations.
We talked about one that I saw on Carisha Please recently.
Okay.
But we did it first, though.
There we go. Let me hit the hype bell. They did it first. Come on, Carisha.
We talked about body dysmorphia and how, you know, I don't know if it's everywhere, but in Atlanta.
It's definitely in Atlanta. In L.A.
This body augmentation wave is like huge.
Right.
So a lot of times I feel like it's normally a sign of something else going on. It's appropriate for some people in some situations. I'm not down in anybody who's done that.
Right.
But sometimes it's a Band-Aid. Sometimes there's something going on as far as your self-esteem is concerned. Something is going on as far as some type of trauma, some void that you're trying to fill with the outer representation of yourself.
Right.
But a lot of times it don't never fill that void, so you end up going back
doing
and back
something.
And back.
So I was going to ask that because I know a few females that have gotten a part of their body rewired. I'm going to say it that way, right? They got rewired, and they went through the pain of that, and they're like, I'll never do this again. This is the craziest thing I ever did. I'll never deal with that. And then 6 months later, they're back under the knife. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what was the mind frame to change that where you know the difficulty of the first time you did it.
Definitely. I would say that what they trying to do is solve a permanent problem with a temporary fix. Okay. So like when you are, you have a void with your self-esteem, you got to build that up from the inside out. Your outward representation is a reflection of what's happening inside.
Okay.
So if you change the outside without changing the inside,
yeah,
it's only a matter of time before you got to change the outside again.
It's gonna resurface.
You got to change the outside again. You got to keep going back because you still haven't made any alterations to the inside.
Got you.
So I think a lot of times, and I don't know if it's intentional, but a lot of times in our culture, we put forth a certain thing and we present a certain thing, but on the inside we suffering. We got a lot of stuff going on that we don't want nobody to see.
Right.
And that's okay too. But it's also important to know that there's somebody out there somewhere probably that can help you with that, or maybe even be a support for the certain things that you can't tell everybody.
Not somebody, these guys, not me. Tell them.
Definitely.
But I do want to say this. Let's talk about this because you got a few people that they are ready for therapy, right? They may be on the verge of getting ready for therapy, but they may not feel their best every day. Give me like a few tricks somebody could do to kind of boost their positivity, their self-esteem within themselves. Give me a few tips and tricks, maybe.
I'll give you a little tip. One of the things that's huge in our world is self-talk, right?
Okay.
So you talk to yourself all day, every day. You might hear a couple of different other people's voices, but you hear your voice 10 times more than anybody else.
Right.
So if you tell yourself 10 times you're a failure, guess what you are? A failure. But if you tell yourself, this is going to be a good day, this is going to be a good day, like making intentional effort to tell yourself certain messages, then it just manifests in your real life. Like it's amazing how it works. It's almost seemed like just some psychobabble, but really, if you really tell yourself certain things, especially things that you know you struggle with. Like if you know this person is gonna get on your nerves at work, you say, today this person is not gonna get on my nerves 10 times in your head.
Yeah.
Then when you get to work, that person ain't gonna get on your nerves. You're gonna be ready for that.
You created that shield for yourself.
You're gonna be ready. You're gonna be like, oh no, I know what you're trying to do.
I can take it.
Already. Not today, Sheila.
I could even take that a step further, and that mindset creates behaviors, whether you are conscious of those behaviors or not.
Okay.
Then those behaviors turn into outcomes.
Okay.
Right? So you create a certain mindset, then that mindset translates into behaviors. Then the outcomes come based on those behaviors that came from the mindset that you had.
Okay.
Here's my little trick. I advocate all the time for people to have a personal self-care plan.
Okay.
Right? For me personally, I like to have certain things that I can do daily, certain things I can do weekly, and other things maybe monthly.
All right, talk to me about those. Give me an example.
All right, so I look at it like if I had a cup, right? And this cup, every time something stresses me out, it's filled up a little bit more.
Yeah.
If I don't deliberately pour the cup out, what's going to happen eventually?
It's going to tip over. It's going to be too full.
It's going to be too full. It's going to overflow. It's going to look out of control. But if I deliberately pour some out, whether that happens daily, weekly, or monthly.
And that's what your self-care. That's how you pour out.
Right?
Okay.
So my daily stuff for me personally, I like to be able to do my hygiene stuff, like brush my teeth and stuff like that.
Right.
And I like to be able to do something exercise related.
Got you.
It don't got to be a kill myself session. It can be walking 30 minutes in the morning.
Yeah, that's actually makes plenty of sense because I started going for a walk. If I feel like something was outweighing the positivity, let me walk real quick and think through this. Right.
It's physiological changes that happen when you exercise.
Yeah.
Hormonal changes that happen that impact your mood. So maybe for somebody else it may not be working out. They might say, I like to
listen to
music every day, or I like to meditate every day, or I like to plant a garden, plant something in my garden.
Or go outside and play with chickens.
Yeah,
this is my situation.
Yeah.
I can get it right.
Whatever it is, though, if you challenge yourself, and it's crazy how many adults have a hard time with this activity. I say, challenge yourself to think about some of the things that energize you, that you like to do. Okay. That make you feel like a kid again.
And they don't know
They don't know. They say, damn, I haven't thought about that in years.
But every day you're thinking about the problem, and that is the problem.
That's the problem, because life is the process, right? And we always looking at the destination.
Yeah.
we don't, we forget to kind of take a minute to enjoy the process. So if you don't have something deliberate in place, that, mindset can be overwhelming. So like for me, like I said, the daily stuff, working out, hygiene. Weekly, I might like to go out with my friends and have a drink.
Right.
If I did that daily, that would be irresponsible.
Right.
Then
you have to go talk to your brother.
Exactly. I'd be right on somebody.
I'd probably pull him to the side before it got to that point.
There we go.
On some intervention.
Monthly, I like to get a massage. I just realized in my adult life that I like getting professional massages.
There you go.
It do something for me. So,
yeah.
I just like to get a massage.
There you go.
Know what I'm saying?
We're going to leave it there.
We're going to leave there. I just like to get a regular massage.
Don't look into that. This is regular professional massage.
Straight up.
Right.
But yeah, or do some type of travel thing. You know what I mean? A little road trip or something. But, some of those things are more realistic to do, periodically. You can't do them every day.
Right.
But some stuff, if you challenge yourself, you can find time to do it every day. Like I had a friend, well, actually it was a client. He said, I just like to have my coffee uninterrupted. Like without having to feel any challenges or nothing. Just have my coffee in the morning, watch sports or whatever on TV, uninterrupted, and I'm good for the rest of the day.
It makes sense. It makes plenty of sense. Yep.
So I think most people, if you challenge yourself, you could think about something that's feasible and realistic for you to do.
Yeah.
For a few minutes every day, and that's you emptying your cup out so that it don't overflow.
There you go. I like it, man. I like it. I love what these brothers are saying. Make sure that you tap in with them. We gave them the Instagram, the website. Give them the website one more time.
Teppertherapy.com.
So you tip
like pepper, except with a T.
You literally type in www.teppertherapy.com.
And it'll pop right up. Make sure your guys tap in with them because they bring some great things to the table. And if you know somebody, refer the website to them. Hey, man, check this out. And that's definitely a blessing that you could pass along. We appreciate y'all. We can't wait for this podcast. All the stuff, the jewels that y'all are dropping. I know it'll be on a new podcast coming soon.
Definitely.
For sure. I'm trying to do that with you, brother.
Let's do it. Media Campus West. We got plenty of space for you. So, yes, there we go. We're going to get it cracked. And they got a lot of celebrity friends, so no telling who they're going to pull up and bring up here.
So, yeah, please stay tuned. You never know who's going to pull up.
That's what's up. Y'all keep it locked in. We got more music on the way. We got a mix with DJ OS. We got another mix with my guy, DJ Decepticon, on the way right here on Reec Radio. And, of course, we broadcast at Simulcast Live on 107.5 and our other affiliates, too. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We are out, baby.